can't give you test 3 back yet, but I'll give it to you Thursday and we'll go over it. But I'm gonna just start by giving back a bunch of old tests. I never gave you test 2 back. I know Katie's not here. Reagan O'Neill, Thomas Murphy, Julissa Labra, Megan Knox, Savannah Reed, Bailey Rogers, Maggie McConaughey, Ruiz, Alex Ruiz. Yeah, that's Abigail Jar, Julissa Lapra, Caroline Kent, Lily Super, Breeze Mont, Lane Walker, Nikki Kim, Mary Drake Summers, Love Cowpack. Pass that back to her. Brewster, DeBellina, he's not here. Angelina Nichols, Kayla Berry, Chloe Stroud, Kylie McDonald, Grace Oakeshaw, Naomi Dipanescu, Sky Ray, Michaela Poncel, Annabelle Duncan, Tristan Casey, Caleb McKenna, Sophie, there's Sophie, Madison Cargill, and those of you who just walked in, what's your name?
Bailey.
Dipanescu. Just passed yours. Put it here. Who else just walked in? This is test 2.
I didn't get my test.
What's the name?
Ellie Stone.
Did I not call your names?
No, it's
It's Stone and
Brian's.
put y'all somewhere weird. Find it. Let me just keep going. Test 1. Oh, there's some test 2s. So, I'm gonna eat up all the class time giving these back. Ellie Stone and Camilla Bryant. Okay, what's the last name? Just if I don't have your test, I will get it to you. I uploaded the tests just in case I have to go back to my office and find your test. Under tests on D2L, test 1 and test 2 is there, and I'll start going over these today. But, the drawer where I stuff all the tests in, or what, is in kind of a disarray. So I'll find, who else just walked in that didn't get one? So these that I've handed out, everybody got a test 2, except for, what's your last name? Hyman, okay. I will find it, I've got it somewhere. Okay. And what, these are from test 2, Ellie Stone. And Brian's. This was you, just a quick name. Lane Walker. Up here. Love Calpack. Pass that back to her. We'll have this. Nichols, it's not here. Brewster. DeVillena. Mary Drake Summers. Kayla Berry. Chloe Stroud. Kylie McDonald. Grace Hopeshaw. Naomi. Sky Ray. Michaela Poncel. Back. Annabelle Duncan. Tristan Casey. Madison Cargill. Caleb McKenna. Sophie Hargis. Breeze Mott. Lily Suber. Caroline Kent. Julissa Labra. She's still sick. Abigail Jar. Bailey Rogers. Ruiz. Maggie McConaughey. Savannah Reed. Megan Knox. Megan is not here. That's test 2. I still have some test 1s. I did upload them, but you might want to have your own. Maggie McConaughey. Here. Katie is not here. She's not here. Let's do this. Is Tristan Casey here? Thomas Murphy. Here. Judy. Lane Walker. Here. DeVillena is not here. Michaela Poncel. Abigail Jar. Abigail's not here. Breeze Mott is not here. Hyman. Okay. Oh, there's your test 2. It was stuck in there somewhere. Breeze is not here. That's your test 1. Julissa Labra, she's not here Lane Walker, Abigail Jor, Michaela Poncel. Tristan Casey. Katie's not here. Murphy is not here. Development is not here. Let me try that. Okay. Is anybody missing test 1 or test 2 at this point? All right, good. My messy system managed to try out. I'm gonna make the final off of the test questions on the actual tests. So rather than looking at those quizzes, you ought to use your tests to study, and I'll build the final with questions that are just like those. And hopefully, I have time to go through all of it. I think what of these tests that I don't have time to go through in class, I'll make a video of, so you'll still have the video online. So I'm not sure I'll get through all of it. I had some medical issues, so a couple of people aren't taking test 3 until tomorrow. So they'll take test 3 tomorrow, and then I can give you test 3 back on Thursday. And we will go, so I intend between today and Thursday to try to go through test 1, test 2, and test 3, just the tests. That should be a good review for the final. And I've got test 1 right here queued up. Gotta make sure that video works. So keep an eye on the video. All right, test 1. Number 1, let me write this just for the video. Starting with test 1. All right, test 1. How many significant figures is this? It's 5. The 0 at the end on the other side of the decimal counts. So this one is 5. How about this one? That one's 2. If there was a decimal there, then it would be 4. The decimal would indicate that the zeros count. I'm not going to do one like 3 and 4. I remember getting confused trying to solve that one, so you can skip 3 and 4 for the final. Okay, 225 milligrams, what's the mass in grams? That's the way that one's done. It essentially moves the decimal this way 3 times, so 0.225. So that answer is A, 0.225. Number 6, this many nanometers, that's 4 significant figures. And you gotta do that in centimeters. Nanometers. And what is that in centimeters? That will do it. Doing this my way. If I move this up to the top, it becomes 10 to the 9. And then 987. 2 centimeters. And this was nanometers. Just make this all 10 to the negative 7. That should be the answer. Did I put it in the scientific notation? 4780. Yeah, I did. Did I mess that up? Yeah, I did something wrong here. That's what I get. You know what? Skip number 6 if I can't do it off the top of my head. Was it 3 and 4 I said to skip? Yeah, it said skip 3, 4, and 6. You can skip those. I'm gonna have to drop some of these for the final, so I'm gonna get hung up on it in class. I'll just skip it for the final. Number 7, when correctly rounded to 2 significant figures, what is this? Just to go through it formally, 90783. 2 significant figures is these two. The 7 rounds the 0, so 0. Where's that? So 0.091, that's C. 358, so number 8, 35880. So the decimal is there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not a decimal there, so the 0 is not significant, so I'm not going to bring the 0 down. Times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4. 3.588. times 10 to the 4, that's E. Mass in kilograms of an individual weighs 18 pounds. Sure that. So I don't mess that up. I will give you these sheets in the test again, so you don't have to memorize them. So we've got to get from pounds to kilograms. 18 pounds. None of my markers are any good. Ah. £18. And I have here English to metric. I've got mass. Okay, kilograms. That'll do. Two significant figures in my answer. Calculator says the two significant figures is those two. 8.2 grams. Answer is A. Number 10, 4.4 cups. What is the volume in liters? $44.8. Let's see that right. 44.6. Gotta get to liters. Okay. I've got 1.06 cups. No, that's quarts. Okay. 4 cups. Is 1 quart. One quart is 4 cups, and 1.06 quarts is 1 liter. Double do it. This is exact, so English to English, those are both exact. This is English to metric,
So this one counts, it's 3 significant figures, and this one's 3 significant figures. Keeping those, so 10.
11. Fence post is 79.5 centimeters tall. We need that in yards.
79.5 centimeters. Start with that. Centimeters to yards. Got feet. Centimeters, inches, feet.
That'll do it.
By 2, 5. Calculator says 0.8694225. All right, 3 significant figures. This one is metric to English, so this counts for significant figures. This is English to English, so that doesn't count for significant figures. English to English doesn't count for significant figures. So 3. So I need to keep these.
So it's D for 11. 12. All right, this is 12. Seven milliliters and 1.019.
0, 3 significant figures, and then you're given grams per milliliter, 1.019. What is the mass of the sample in milligrams? So 1 gram. Three significant figures, I have to do this. 3 significant figures. 7130 milligrams.
There's at least one of these I ask y'all to skip. If you recognize it, stop me. So you have this density and you have the mass of, what is the mass of 2.55 quarts? So we're looking for the grams.
This is 13. Grams. 2.55 quarts.
I did. Do you remember what the problem was?
It was 13. You
All right.
also told us to skip number 5 on the test.
I told you to skip number 5 on this one? Oh, I said skip it anyway, didn't I? That was one of those, I just said skip.
It was because it was supposed to be in grams and the answers were in milligrams.
Oh, okay. Still skip 5. Skip it again. Where was I? 13. Okay. 0.55 quarts.
It's 'cause this was in 11.
Did I tell you to skip this one?
Yes.
I did. Skip 13. All right, skip 13. I believe you. Okay, these are the addition, subtraction rules, multiplication, division rule. Skip 13. The key to this one is you can just punch all that into your calculator. But this has 2 after the decimal, 3 after the decimal, 4 after the decimal, 1 after the decimal. Therefore, your answer has to be rounded back to 1 after the decimal. So, 59.10 plus 9.102 plus 99.0176 minus 61.9. The calculator says, what's this? So I'm keeping 1 after the decimal and everything over here. The 1 does not round to 3, so the answer should be 105.3. Answer A. All right, the next one, 38.251. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures, and this is 3 significant figures. Therefore, our answer has to be in 3 significant figures. Times 73, what calculator says. 3 significant figures is those 3. The 6 rounds to the 9, so basically you're going from 79 to 80. Put the answers in significant scientific notation. Yeah. So for this one, we're keeping 3 significant figures, and we run into that problem where there's no way to represent this by either putting a decimal there or not, so we have to put this in scientific notation. Scientific notation would be 2.80, and I'm leaving this O off. 10 to the 1, 2, 3. So 2.80 times 10 to the 3. That's E. Do you remember this vocabulary? Elements in a column of the periodic table. Yep, called a group. Block. So I have to open. So I'll give you a periodic table again. Test. P block. So P block is in here. This is the P block. This is the S block. And this is the SPD, that's the D block. And I never ask y'all any questions about the F block. This down here is the F block. Lost. So the P block element, one of these fits in the P block, and it is gonna be boron. So there's boron. The others were elsewhere. That's 17. How many protons and electrons are found in a neutral atom of chromium? Chromium is right here. So it has 24 protons, and the neutral atom will have 24 electrons. 24 is the answer to that. Answer B. How many neutrons in phosphorus 31? The 31 tells you the, where's phosphorus? Phosphorus 31. What number am I on?
19.
What is it?
19.
19. Got what I was doing. Phosphorus 31. All right. That's the protons plus the neutrons, 31. And this question is asking neutrons, right? How many neutrons? Phosphorus is right here. It has 15 protons. So you get the number of protons off the periodic table, and then you subtract it from that, what we call the mass number. You get 16. Answer is E for 19. A neutral atom of the isotope silicon 30 All right, so how many protons, neutrons, and electrons? A neutral atom, okay. So that's its mass number. Silicon. Is it silicon? It is silicon. I should have SI here, not S. Silicon has 14 electrons, 14 neutrons, and that's not right. 14 protons. 30 minus 14 is that 16 again?
Mm-hmm.
14, 16, is that right?
Yes.
So it's E for this one, 14, 14, 16. Did I do that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, which element is chemically similar to beryllium? For that, you find beryllium, and the similar atoms are all in this column, all in the same group. So we're looking for magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and it's magnesium. Magnesium, just because it's in the same column. Electron configurations. Here you could just add up the electrons. I probably drew that diagram to explain this before, but 4, 8, which one of these has 8? Oxygen. Oxygen has 8 electrons and 8 protons for the neutral atom.
That's what the Mythbusters did for their tolerance testing.
So answer is E.
Found out that swearing actually does make it stay a little longer than that.
Third shell.
It gives you percent more. And fake swearing doesn't work as well as real swearing.
What number is
Got
this?
other words. Doesn't work as well as shouting actual swearers.
23. I told you guys to think like this. 1, 3, 1, 3, 5. And there is one more right here, but that breaks the pattern. So I'll tell you to think 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, and yeah, there is one more right there. All right, the n equals 3 shell. This is the n equals 1. That's the n equals 2. And these 3, not counting this one. So how many electrons can fit in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the answer is C for 23. Again, assuming a neutral atom, it's 2, 4, 6 plus 4 is 10. So we're looking for number 11. So I'm adding up those superscripts. 10, 11. So number 11 is sodium. So the answer is A, 24. Neon plus 5, 6, 7. So here's neon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one is chlorine. So 25 is C, chlorine. Smallest atomic radius. Boron, carbon, nitrogen. I'm going to have to write them down. 26. Boron, carbon, nitrogen. Nitrogen, fluorine, and neon. All right, and apparently I chose boron, carbon, nitrogen, fluorine, and neon. These are all in the same row. So which one's the smallest of these? You could throw oxygen in there too, but which one is the smallest of these? So the size trend is, if you go down a row, everything in the row above is smaller than the row below. That's going down very quickly. But going from left to right, it actually gets a little smaller as you go from right to left. So neon is the smallest one here. So boron, carbon, nitrogen gets a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller. Then when you get to neon, it's the smallest in that row. And then when you go over here to sodium, it gets real big again. And a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller. So you get to argon. And then when you get to potassium, it jumps way big again. So everything in a row above is smaller than the row below, but they get slightly smaller as you go from left to right. Periodic trends. So neon is the answer to that one. Okay, do you remember how to decide whether you're making an ionic compound or not? talk much about metallic compounds. So you have to know your metals and nonmetals. Nonmetals are everything up here in this corner above this diagonal. So those are nonmetals, not counting the noble gases. And then hydrogen also belongs in that category. So you're looking for something, did this say nonmetal? Oh, ionic compound. So you're looking for a pairing of a metal and a nonmetal. And the metal and nonmetal here is those are both nonmetals, chlorine, hydrogen. So it's lithium and magnesium. No, it's not.
It's E. It's on the test, it's E.
What did I put on the test?
E.
Oh yeah, sodium. Sodium is a nonmetal. I mean, sodium is a metal and oxygen is a nonmetal. D, cobalt and copper are both metals. Lithium and magnesium are both metals. Chlorine and hydrogen are both nonmetals. Nitrogen and oxygen are both nonmetals. So sodium is a metal, oxygen is a nonmetal. So that's the answer. Okay, the name. Did I catch that typo when I gave you the test? I guess I didn't. The name for the ionic compound formed with lithium and chlorine. Lithium and chlorine. What number is this? 28?
Yes, sir.
All right, what is the charge that lithium contains when it's an ion?
+1.
Huh?
+1.
Yes. Y'all have already forgotten this? These are all +1, these are all +2, these are variable, they're weird. And then these you count to the right, so carbon will be 1, 2, 3, 4, nitrogen would be 1, 2, 3, oxygen will be 1, 2, chlorine will be 1, and these just follow suit as the one above it. So lithium is +1, and chlorine is what?
-1.
So its formula is going to be LiCl, and it's so you add the IDE to the end of the nonmetal, and you keep the same name for the metal. Sometimes we put something in parentheses here in Roman numerals, but we don't do that here because lithium is not in this variable area, the transition metals. So we don't need the parentheses for this. So this one should just be lithium chloride. Lithium chloride, C. Okay, the chemical formula for tin nitrate. I will give you this page that has the nitrate on it. It is on there. Right? Yes. So you'll be given that on the test. And it's what nitrate? Tin nitrate. Tin is here. So anything down here, you know what, skip that one. Number is that? Skip 29.
little ambiguous when it's not in the transition metals. Okay, the correct name for this is TI is titanium. That is right here on the periodic table. You're given the formula. So it's going to be, what number are we on? N is nitrogen, so I'm going to say nitrite. No, yeah, nitrite, lithium nitrite. Lithium nitride. But the problem with that name is it doesn't have the parentheses. So titanium. So you have to figure out from that, what is the charge on the titanium? What is the typical charge for nitrogen?
-3.
So if nitrogen is 3 negative, and there's 2 of them, the total negative charge is -6, right? The titanium, we have 3 of them. And they need to add up to 6, positive 6. Equal sign doesn't really apply here, but you see what I'm saying. So how are we gonna split a positive 6 among 3 titaniums? Well, it's gonna be 2 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus. Therefore, the charge on titanium is 2 plus. That's the series of logic you have to do. So now we can say titanium titanium 2 nitride. So that's 2 nitride is D. On this one, you look up on the sheet, the SO2,
You had to skip that one.
did I skip one?
You had to skip 31 on the test.
Okay, skip 31. The final's getting shorter and shorter. There's plenty of questions for. Remind me to take another picture of the board. I want to remember this. The formula for magnesium fluoride, 32. All right, so what's the charge on Mg and F?
It's 2.
So Mg, 2 plus, F is what? 1 negative. So we have to put this formula together that balances the charges, and essentially you just need 2 fluorines. That's the formula. Is it coming back to you? So MgF2, that's C. Aluminum and oxygen. Here's aluminum. Yeah, a few minutes ago when I said these are always +1, these are always +2, I forgot one. There's one over here that's +3. That's the only one that's more than +2 that's predictable. That's outside the transition metals. and ignore these, I won't ask questions on these. So what's the charge on aluminum? I just said it. It's +3. So you look at aluminum, you go 1, 2, 3, so it's the same process. Aluminum and oxygen, what's the charge on oxygen? Aluminum was 3 plus, and this is what?
Minus 2. Minus 2.
2 minus, all right. And the way you do this formula is it's gonna be, to make the charges balance, you go Al2O. So three of those will make a -6, and 2 of those will make a +6. So Al2O3. That one asks for the formula, right? Al2O3, so it's A for that one. So iron is a transition metal. So you don't know its charge just by looking. But you can infer the charge. So if the charge on N, what is the charge on N? It's 3 minus. So we don't have to go through this analysis because there's only one of each one. So what does the charge on this have to be? 3 plus. So the answer is D for 34. How many questions did I put on this stuff? Okay, the electron configuration for F. I still think my inverted Christmas tree diagram, the 1, 3, and yeah, there's one more right there. But you start with that. If you want to know the electron configuration of, now this is F negative. So why did I go there? Oh, look at F, it's got 9 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus one more extra electron because of that. That's the electron configuration before. If you want to encode it the other way, with the 1s2 and the 2s, S, 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 that's 4s. 1s, 2s, these are p's, 2 p's. So you've got 1s has 2 electrons, 2s has 2 electrons, 2p has 6 electrons. That's the configurations, which is answer C for that one. Can you answer this one, 36? When forming ions, metals typically do which of the following? They lose electrons to become positive. So it's D. How many protons and electrons are present in cobalt 2 plus? So you can do this. Cobalt is right here. So it has 27 neutrons. 27 protons. What number am I on?
37.
So what you definitely know when you look at cobalt on here, where'd it go? Oh, the cursor's over there. Is that 27? 27 neutrons. 27 neutrons. Okay, the electron, I didn't say, oh, yeah, it is a neutron. Oh, I just said protons and electrons. How many electrons does it have if it's plus 2?
Protons or electrons?
Did I say protons? I meant electrons. Said neutrons here, good lord. Protons, what I got off the periodic table means protons. So it has 27 protons and it's plus 2, how many electrons does it have?
5.
So it's lost 2 electrons, to be positive. Which element has the same electronic configuration as the selenide ion? Okay. Here's selenide, it's going to gain 2 electrons and become the same electron configuration as krypton. Once it gains those 2 electrons, it has the same electronic configuration as krypton. Which one of these is a metal with a variable charge? Lithium, oxygen, beryllium, cobalt. Yeah, use that periodic table. So can you tell which one has a variable charge? Cobalt. It's cobalt because cobalt is down in the transition metals. And all the other ones are totally predictable charges. Which one down here is a non-metal? Did you say it? Hydrogen. Everything here is a metal. It's either in the 2 left columns or in the transition metal area, except for hydrogen. Hydrogen is the one non-metal there. Okay. I expect I should go over test 2 as much as I can. Video still going. All right. You can get this non-bonded stuff by okay, for this first question, what you need to know is, what do we have? Nitrogen, carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Nitrogen, you look at the periodic table, and how many valence electrons does nitrogen have? You get valence electrons, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the Lewis structure for nitrogen. These are going to make bonds, and that's the lone pair. Carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4. All of those are going to make bonds, so there'll be no lone pairs for carbon. Oxygen is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These will make bonds, and there's your lone pairs for oxygen. And hydrogen is just 1 electron, and it's going to make a bond, so it's got no lone pairs. So you look at this diagram. 1, 2. How many non
electron pairs. That's what these are, the non-bonded electron pairs, also called lone pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oxygens. Oxygen, there's 5 of them. Every oxygen has 2 of the pairs. Nitrogen, there's 1 nitrogen. Oh, I forgot the phosphorus. The phosphorus though. Phosphorus is like that. Those will make bonds. But it doesn't have any lone pairs because of that other bond. You know what? Skip number 1. Skip number 1. All right, how many covalent bonds are generally formed by atoms that have 7 valence electrons? Same idea as these Lewis structures. If you had an atom, and I'm just going to use A, you had an atom, and it's 7 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pair here, pair here, pair here, and 1 here by itself. That's the one that's going to make a bond, so it's 1. An electron, an atom with 7 valence electrons will make 1 bond. Number 3. How many valence electrons are in a molecule of formaldehyde? This one we can. This one we can do like I was doing before. How many valence electrons for carbon? 4. How many for hydrogen? And how many for oxygen? 6. So in this molecule, we've got 3 carbons, 8 hydrogens, and 2 oxygens. Carbon is 4 valence electrons, oxygen is 6, hydrogen is 1, whatever that adds up to. 24, is it 32? Yeah, 32. Does that make sense? Okay. Which Lewis structure contains an atom that violates the octet rule? Atoms that violate the octet rule these are the atoms that do not violate the octet rule. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, and then sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon. Starting here, any atoms bigger than that across the periodic table can violate the octet rule. So you're looking for one of these compounds that has that in it. And it's phosphorus. D. So sulfur is right here. Sulfur and phosphorus